Good day everyone! Today I will teach you on how to illustrate an experiment, outcome, sample space, and events. But before we illustrate the key concepts of probability, let us first define what is probability. Probability simply means the chance that some event will happen. It is a number between 0 and 1, where 0 means the event is impossible and 1 means the event is certain. For example, the probability of getting heads when you flip a fair coin is 1/2, because there are two possible outcomes, which are heads and tails, and each outcome is equally likely. Probability is used in many different fields, including statistics, finance, and gambling. This is also used in everyday life, such as when we make decisions about weather or traffic. Let's move on to the key concept of probability. We have experiment. Experiment is a process or investigation from which results are observed and recorded. The activities illustrating experiments are tossing a coin, picking a card from a standard deck of cards, rolling a die, and also choosing a ball from a box and drawing a ball in a lottery. These activities best illustrate an experiment. Next is outcome. Outcome is the possible result of an experiment. It represents a single, specific result that can occur when a random experiment is conducted. For example, when we are tossing two coins, the possible result when tossing two coins are head and head. It could also be head and tail and head, or tail and tail. These possible results are called an outcomes. Next example is when we are rolling a die. The possible results are 1, 2, and 3. These possible results are called an outcomes. Next is we have sample space. Sample space is the set of all possible outcomes for a probability experiment or activity. It is usually denoted by letter S. For example, when we are tossing two coins, in here, we list all the possible results of an experiment. So we have head and tail, or it could be tail and head, or tail and tail. All these possible results are called the sample space. Another example is when we are rolling a die. Of course, we list all the possible results of this experiment. So it could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. All the possible results of this experiment are called the sample space. Under sample space, we have sample point. It is just one of the possible outcomes. Example, you get ahead after tossing a coin. The last one is the event. If the sample space is the set of all possible outcomes of an experiment, the event simply means the subset of all possible outcomes or sample space of an experiment. For example, when we are tossing two coins, we have the set of all possible outcomes or sample space of an experiment. So these are given. So from here, we list the subset of all possible outcomes or sample space of an experiment. So we have the subset of HH or head-head, the subset of head-head, head-tail, tail-head, and the subset of head-head, tail-tail, and head-tail. All of these subset of all the possible outcomes or sample space of an experiment are called the event. Next is when we are rolling a die. from the given set, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, we will get the subset of all possible outcomes or sample space of the given experiment. So in here, we may get the subset of 1 and 2, the subset of 1, or the subset of 1, 2, and 3. All of this subset of all possible outcomes of an experiment is called the event. Okay, now let us have an activity. Use the basic concepts of probability to identify the following. Number 1, tail. What do you think is the answer? Correct! The correct answer is sample point. What about the number 2? We have king of spades. What do you think is the answer? Correct. The answer is sample point. Let us have number 3. Flipping a 10 peso coin 5 times. What do you think is the answer? Correct. The answer is experiment. What about number 4? Getting ahead in a single toss of coin. What do you think is the answer? Correct. The answer is event. What about number 5? Tossing a coin and rolling a dice simultaneously. What do you think is the answer? Correct. The answer is experiment. Congratulations. That's all for today. Thank you for watching.